A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa alihi tayyibin al-tahirin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilman. So, assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our series where we are reflecting on a single verse from Quran every day. And continuing with our theme of using inspiration from verses which will guide us when we are in the midst of conflict and dispute with other human beings, we turn today to verse 34 from Sura Fussilat, which is chapter 41 of the Quran. And this verse we have explored many times before. It is one of those verses that is so deep that can teach us in many different aspects of our life. Today, however, we will be using it to guide ourselves in the midst of an argument. So, like we've been saying, despite our best intentions, things can get really heated up when we are in the midst of conflict. It is very challenging and hard to hear things that go against our belief system, especially when they are being said by people who are triggering us. And it can get very easy to take things personally. And often when people say things in a way that is not the most compassionate or, kind, it triggers us more and it can potentially make us lose our emotional balance. So the verse from Surah Fussilat advises us not to react when others fall short of respectful conduct. So the verse says, repel evil with what is best. If you do so, behold, he between whom and you was enmity will be as though he were a sympathetic friend. So scholars explain that the way this verse is written, the fact that there is absence of a direct object after repel in the above verse means that the verse is open to many meanings and possibilities. In other words, we can repel anger with patience, error with truth, ignorance with clemency, and the commission of evil with pardon. So in this sense, we are using patience when the other person is angry. We are using our own emotional balance when they are saying words which are not appropriate, perhaps. And so, in other words, instead of reacting to other people's behavior out of anger, we can practice responding in a way that is aligned to our own value system, what we believe. So, when we do this, this verse explains that the other person, it gives them a chance to calm down. It diffuses the tension and aggression and allows the conversation to get back on track. And a practice of repelling evil or communication triggers and mistakes with good, responsive, and worthy communication can lead to reconciliation, love, and reconnection. So again, how do we do that? One of the ways to look at it is that when we are upset or angry at the other person because of what they have done, and we react, there is no space between what the other person does and our reaction turns to be automatic. It's almost as it's joined. There is no space in between. But here's the thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, has made us in the best of makes and has given us in the ability to pause between responding. So reaction is what happens automatically. If you hit a dog, for example, he will bark or bite you back. If you spray a cat, he will snarl at you, right? Animals do not have this ability to respond and see what should be done in that situation, whereas human beings do. I like to think of it as a human toolbox, that we have the ability to use our imagination of what we can do in such a situation. We have the tool of self-control, that we can pause, we can control ourselves, we can control our mouth. I always say, engage brain before operating mouth. We can use our willpower. We have the ability to do something based on our free will. And so imagination, free will, self-control, and of course, our conscience. What does our conscience tell us in that moment? What is most important to us? What is of value to us? What would make us proud of the way that we respond and behave? These are the tools that we have at our disposal if we are able to pause, if we're able to give ourselves the gift of a few seconds. It does not take long. When we're triggered, again, we are going back to our base instincts, to our animal self. When we pause, when we breathe, it brings our thinking mind back online. It reminds us of what is important to us, and only then can we engage in a way that will make sense as a human being and not on autopilot. So inshallah, of course, this takes a lot of practice, and just remember to pause, breathe, before responding. And again, so what the verse reminds us is that repel evil with what is best. And again, in order to do that, we need the gift of time. We need that gift of a few seconds of breathing room to remind ourselves what is best, what is our values, what is in our best interest. So inshallah, we will continue with this series tomorrow, and I will see you then, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.